So, a community that I've kind of gotten involved in over the past few years through YouTube videos mostly and just generally online is the EDC community. And EDC stands for Everyday Carry. And sort of the idea of everyday carry, if I understand it correctly, is it's items that you carry on your person all of the time, wherever you go. And it's sort of the idea of like, okay, if you have these certain few things that you have with you all the time, being thoughtful about those items that you carry, how well they're designed, what stuff should you choose to carry with you every day. And I just think it's interesting because people get kind of caught up in a few certain items that are very heavily reviewed and featured in everyday carry sort of things. And some of the most common ones are pocket knives, such as the Pair 3 by Spyderco, which I've got right here and I've done a review on. Other ones, I'm going to reach up here, like watches, like the Navi XL that I wear occasionally, or the Vostok watch. I forget if this is an yeah, it's an amphibia, I think. Yeah. I was thinking Commanderski or amphibia, but I couldn't remember. Yeah, or Vostok watch. But some of the common ones are knives, watches, wallets, flashlights, knives, wallets, flashlights, watches. Phones sometimes get featured. Some people carry like pry bars. Another common one is pens. Pens like writing utensils, handkerchiefs, that kind of stuff. All that stuff usually gets featured as kind of things that people would carry in their pockets. And here's the thing. I just don't think that, at least for me, I carry 3 objects on my person at all times, wherever I go, unless I'm like going on a run, which I might just bring the key to my truck. But generally, anywhere else I go, I'm going to have my phone, my wallet, and my keys. Those are just always going to be on me, which is kind of funny because that even leaves out like knives, for example, which I carry on me about 90% of the time. But even in certain activities, I'm not going to bring a knife along. Say I'm playing a sport or something, and I don't feel like either clipping my knife inside my shorts while I go play volleyball, or leaving my knife on top of my stuff while I'm playing volleyball, something like that, you know. So you just don't always have these items with you, and I rarely carry a flashlight on my person, like in my pocket, unless I just used it and I'm just putting it away. I just think there are better places to carry stuff like that. Like I carry a backpack with me pretty much all the time, and I keep most of my stuff in there that I'm going to use regularly, so that I can have it on hand, but it's not weighing me down. I just think it's obnoxious to have like a flashlight and a pry bar and field notes and 2 pens and 2 knives and all this stuff. It just doesn't really make sense to me, but I'm just more of a minimalist, and I think that stuff is better suited to go in your backpack or in your truck. And I honestly, I think it still counts as sort of everyday carry gear, or at least everyday gear, because it's stuff that you're taking with you every day. So I think that you should still be like kind of, I don't know, just thinking about that kind of stuff that you should have on hand all the time. So that's my long sort of preamble for talking about stuff that I have with me every day, other than traditional everyday carry things that get reviewed. I just thought it'd be interesting to talk about some stuff that I think gets left out pretty frequently. So I've got some of that right here, as you can see. yeah, we'll just kind of jump right in and talk about the different objects we've got. So phone. People talk about phones a lot, but I just think it's interesting that it gets kind of separated into quote tech, instead of like everyday carry a lot of the time, and people don't even showcase the like phones in your everyday carry pictures and that kind of thing. I just think it's funny because like of all the objects, your phone can do the most. Your phone has a flashlight, your phone has a camera, your phone has a you can pay for stuff with it. Like you can leave your wallet completely behind and still get by paying for most things with it now, with like whatever kind of Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, whatever you got. Google, I don't know if Google does pay. Well, I'm sure they do. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, it's one of your most powerful everyday carry items, and people just don't talk about it. I just think it's well, okay, they do. They talk about it, but they talk about it in tech circles, and I don't know. It's just on the table because I think it traditionally gets left out of like the old knife, flashlight, wallet pictures, and that kind of thing. Watch pictures. Oh yeah, and it makes watches pretty much obsolete. Sorry, watch people. Yeah, you don't really need a watch if you got your phone in your pocket everywhere, because you just whip it out and you know what time it is faster than you can read an analog watch anyway. So yeah. Anyway, just gonna piss off all the watch people because why not? Kind of joking about some of that stuff anyway. But another one that I wanted to talk about is water bottles. This barely fits under the camera because I have so much other stuff here. But this is a water bottle that I carry with me everywhere I go. I take it to work. I take it to the gym. It's one of my most used items. I without a doubt use my water bottle more than I use, say, a pocket knife. Yeah, it's a great object to have on you. This one is a tall water bottle, TAL, 40 ounce Ranger CRL. I'm just reading that off the bottom, by the way. But I got this one as a gift. Oh yeah, you can see there, TAL. I got this one as a gift, so it's just what I've been carrying, and as you can see, it's got some like scratches and stuff on there. But I've been so impressed with how the coating is held up. Just a great durable object, and it carries a good bit of water, and it's insulated, so it stays pretty cool for a while. And if you really wanted to, you could throw a hot drink in here too, though I do have another object on the table for that. But I just think water bottles get overlooked all the time. It's a very well designed object, and they're cheap too. I mean, you can get a nice water bottle for 20, 30, 40 bucks, compared to knives, which are a little more complex most of the time. But like this one is like $170, $190, something like that. Yeah. Just think that's interesting. But yeah, water bottles. Why aren't we talking about water bottles more in the EDC community? Maybe it's just the corner that I'm in, but I think it's funny. All right, what else we got on here? Apparel. I think one thing we don't talk about very much is stuff that you should carry with you frequently to just have around that you wear. I've got a hat here, an REI hat that I wear pretty frequently just because I like the way it looks, and it's not heavy or obnoxious. I don't know. It just looks like a nice chill little hat. But hats are very nice because when your hair looks like crap, you can wear them, and if it's really sunny outside, you can wear them, and it helps a little bit. Another overlooked item. Speaking of it being sunny outside, sunglasses. Something very helpful to have on you in the summer months. These are some peppers, I think. That's right. Yeah, peppers. I wear these kind of on occasion, honestly, and I'd like to invest in a better pair of sunglasses, but it just hasn't been a necessity uh, in these months where I mean it's May right now, so it's just now getting pretty sunny. Um, but yeah, I just like, why are sunglasses not featured in everyday carry videos and pictures that people are submitting? Because that's such a useful thing, especially in the summer and especially in places like, if you live in Florida, I'm telling you, that's more important to have on you than a knife. Just being able to see, or California or wherever, places that it's sunny all the time. Sunglasses and glasses. Heck, if you can't see, or contacts or whatever, that's a hell of a everyday carry thing. Other things, belt. I wear this belt almost every single day when I work, just because it's my favorite belt, because it just works really well. It's an Italian leather belt that my parents bought for me in Italy, and it's just great. I just love it because it's very nice and flexy, so it's comfortable, but it's also kind of rigid, so it actually keeps my pants up, and it doesn't, I mean, like, yeah, look at that. You can see how many times I've used this particular setting on there. Yeah, belts, very helpful thing to have. And I think it's something you should think about for objects that you use every day. Though I guess you're not carrying it, it's sort of apparel. Other things, Sharpies. People talk about like pens a lot in the EDC community, but I think that Sharpies sort of get overlooked. People talk about pens and pencils, but what about like markers? I use markers a lot at work now because we write on receipts a lot, and we write on coffee cups because I'm a barista. And this is particularly useful because I can write on both of those things very easily in nice, big, bold letters. And it just works better than a pen. Well, I mean, it is a pen of sorts. It's a felt tip pen, I suppose. But I find people often talk about like Fisher space pens because they'll write on anything, when it's just not that practical of a thing, depending on what your job is. I guess my point is, like, depending on what you do, different writing utensils are going to help you. Like, for one of the jobs that I used to have, this writing utensil was something that I needed to have on me all the time, because I needed to mark measurements and that sort of thing. But yeah, Sharpies, very useful. Yeah. And moving on, look at that. That is my apron from work. You can see my name smudged on there. But yeah, this is a almost everyday carry, every weekday carry item for me, because it protects me from splashes of hot coffee. You can see some things I've got in there. Sharpie, like I said, a pen. This one's just a Pentel RSVP, nothing fancy. And Civivi Baby Banter, small, less intimidating knife that I just stuck in there the other day because, yeah, I usually carry like my Para 3 or my PM2 in my pocket when I'm at work, but I was thinking of something a little bit more discreet and potentially less intimidating if I pull it out to cut something. The Baby Banter might be a nice choice, but yeah, apron or general work attire, I think, is something that doesn't get talked about as much, but I guess that's just more because it's like a case by case sort of thing, and it's less relatable because not everyone uses an apron every day. Look at that guy. This is for my hot beverages and my iced beverages lately. Insulated mug. This one's just a Yeti. I think this one's called a Rambler, or is that the bigger one that doesn't have the handle? I don't know, but this is a Yeti mug, and as you can see, it's got coffee stands on there and stuff. And this is something that I use pretty much every day when I'm at the coffee shop, and it's just so convenient. In addition to staying hydrated with my water bottle, having some caffeine in the morning since I'm a coffee drinker, or having a tea or some kind of iced beverage is just nice to have. And I will carry this in my backpack when I go to work. And I think it could be a nice addition to most people's everyday carry, or even something to just keep in your car. But yeah, just an object to use every day. I think it's, I just think it's smart to have. And yeah, just another one of those, not necessarily everyday carry objects, because you're not going to have one of these in your pocket, probably, but everyday use object. And some of the stickers I got on there: We the People Patrol, that's like a BMX brand. Lynch Northwest, they're the manufacturer of these pocket clips right here for knives. And Vans, because Vans are nice shoes, and it came with a sticker, so I figured I'd use it. Yeah, and it wasn't like a weird looking sticker, which is kind of one of my criteria for using it. Oh, speaking of Vans, there's an everyday carry item for you. My slip-on Vans with fresh coffee drips on them and stuff. I mean, look at how gross those are. Yeah, everyday carry item for you right there. Carrying them on your feet. I don't know, I've just found the slip-on Vans to be particularly awesome lately, because when you don't have to wear fancier shoes, like if you don't have a white collar job, some benefits of Vans are they're super comfy, they're easy on your feet, and the slip-on version in particular, I'm kind of a fan of slip-on shoes lately, because you don't have to like unlace them every time you want to put them on. But then the thing that people don't think about with slip-on shoes is you never have to tie your shoes, and your shoes never come untied. What a nice convenience that is. Yeah, just fun. Vans are pretty good. I used to not buy them as much, because when I was younger, I was really rough on shoes, and I literally, like, in 3 or 4 months, I would completely wear the bottom all the way through on a pair of Vans, so I just couldn't do them. I used some like Nike SBs, like Nike skateboarding shoes, for a while as an alternative that I found to be significantly more durable than Vans. But now I'm just not that hard on shoes, because I don't run around and play like a kid all the time. I do occasionally. Some other stuff. Burt's Bees hand cream. This was just more of something I was thinking of as something that I keep in my backpack or in my car. Just little cosmetic things I find to be useful to carry every day around with you, because like in the winter your hands might get really dry and cracky, and just be something useful to have on you. Let's see, field notes. This does get talked about, I think, a good bit in everyday carry videos, but something to write notes in, I think, is something that honestly, like, I find it annoying to carry these in my pocket all the time, because like it'll make me get sweaty in whatever area of the pants I'm carrying them, and I'll sweat right through the pages, and then they'll get kind of gross, and I just don't find that I need to write stuff down in them that much. And if I do, most of the time I would have my phone on me. I don't have my phone on me when I'm at work, but I have notes on my phone, so I can use that. But generally, a place to physically write down stuff is nice, and not as overlooked as the other things that I've mentioned, but I think sometimes. I just did why I had my camera set up already was because I just did a review on this case, but this is my AirPods that I use all the time. Yeah, I use them every time I go to the gym, pretty much. And not super frequently otherwise, but yeah, very useful thing to have because you can listen to music or listen to whatever audio or take phone calls. And you don't have to have any wires attached to you and that kind of thing. I just don't think people talk about headphones very much except in tech circles, but I don't think it gets talked about in the context of EDC stuff very much. Maybe more now, that it is sort of a necessity. And people are not as much carrying around full-on headphones like these beautiful Audio-Technicas. But I figured I would mention headphones too, because that's something that you might carry in your backpack with you if you wanted some like actually really good quality audio. Yeah, just something useful to have around. I've been thinking about investing in a wireless over-ear headphone to have, so I can get some really good audio quality like while I'm at the gym or doing something. But yeah, headphones in general. This is the smallest object here. Guitar picks. If you're like a musician or play an instrument, or could be something helpful to have on you. Yeah, I mean, I just have these in my room, but it's something that I think having the right guitar pick makes a big difference. So yeah, just guitar picks. Not necessarily everyday carry object necessarily if you're not a musician, but everyday use. Yes, hopefully. If you play an instrument, practice every day and it'll make you better. Mints and gum. These could also go along with toothbrush and floss. Just keeping clean teeth. I've been thinking lately, having white teeth is like one of the most underrated things to make you more attractive. And I think, it's especially important for me because I work at a coffee shop, so I'm tasting coffee pretty frequently. And leaving that on your teeth is just not good. Makes them yellow and that kind of thing. So it's helpful to have, I've been thinking about getting something more compact to take with me to work to brush my teeth while I'm at work. But those, as well as deodorant, I think is a very important thing to have on you. Because sometimes you just need deodorant. So great thing to have in your car. And I'll very frequently toss my deodorant in my backpack, depending on what I'm doing throughout the day. Because it's just a good thing to have on you. Because there's nothing worse than just smelling bad. Alrighty, a couple other things I thought I'd talk about. Food, snacks, granola bars, great thing to have on you. Doesn't get talked about very much, but like I guess it's kind of a disposable thing and people aren't into talking about that as much. But yeah, having a nice just like meal replacement or snack bar I think is super important. These were appealing to me because they're just like simple ingredients and not as processed as some other things. I think, I don't know. Yeah, but they taste fine. Not super high in sugar, and that's another important thing for me. What else do I got here? Oh yeah. This doesn't even fit in the frame, but this is a laptop. And I don't carry this everywhere with me, but it's an object that is very frequently used. And just a useful object to own, and yeah, a everyday carry object, everyday use. Along with the writing utensils, moleskins. These are objects that I use very frequently on sort of more of a weekly basis, but I keep them in my backpack, so that's kind of the part of the backpack carry. And I use this one for like daily journaling and just thoughts and that kind of thing. And then I use this one for formal writing projects, novels, script ideas, that kind of thing. I think a good thing to have on you. And I keep these in my backpack when I'm going somewhere where I might have time to write. Something that I would like to carry on me more frequently that I don't carry on me very frequently, books. Just to read, because reading is a great thing. Everyday carry object there. You might carry a book on you all the time, not in your pocket, probably. But yeah, useful thing. This one's not even really going to fit under the tripod very well, but this is my backpack that I carry every day. Look at that. It doesn't really fit very well, but I've got all kind of goodies in here. And I think it's really important to have a good backpack for those of us who aren't purse or fanny pack or shoulder satchel sling bag carriers. Backpacks are great. You can carry everything in here. They look stylish. I got this one for like $5 at Goodwill, and it's still my favorite. And it is definitely an everyday carry object. I don't necessarily have it on my body all the time, but super useful. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. I got pens. What's in here? I carry my AirPods in here, which I had out for the video. You could find flash drive holders, camera batteries. Look at that. I've got some pens. Lamy Safari, Parker Jotter, some other random gel pens and stuff. Pen cartridge replacements. I can't find my tactile turn pen right now, which is a bummer. And it houses other everyday carry objects like a wallet, let's see if I can reach it, or a Leatherman Wave, which I don't recommend to carry on your body because it's 10 ounces, 12 ounces, something like that. It's hella heavy. You don't want that in your pocket. But you can still have it on you all the time if you carry a backpack. So backpacks, very useful. That about sums it up for me for like just generally overlooked and under talked about items of everyday use that I don't think get talked about in the everyday carry community, really, because I guess they are technically excluded in the fact that you might not have them on your person every day, and they're not like pocket friendly items a lot of the time. But I do think that a lot of these are very useful items and items that you would use every day or on a very frequent basis, where I think that you should be thinking about them and stuff. So I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun to make a little video about that and kind of talk about everyday use philosophy and that sort of thing. So I don't know, just more musings. I don't think there's anything really to get out of this video except for maybe that we should be intentional about the stuff that we use every day in addition to the stuff that we carry, and those products can be designed well and made well and a joy to carry, and they can also be a pain to carry, and we should put effort into thinking about them and reviewing them so that we can have better products to enjoy and use. More competition for making those products, all that stuff is good because it puts better things in our hands at more competitive prices and that sort of thing. So reviews are great. I ran out of space on my card, so it definitely cut me off somewhere there. I'm going to sync up the audio real quick. Yeah. So this is still the first audio recording, but this is the second video recording. But anyway, what I was saying is that it's nice to be able to think about everyday objects in addition to everyday carry objects, because we should take time reviewing those sort of things so that we can get more competitive about making them, so we can get better, cheaper products, because people are trying to, make something that sells well and make something that's more quality and just get better stuff in our hands. Which is, I think, part of the beauty of people sort of obsessing a little more than they should, honestly, about everyday carry objects and that kind of thing. I think it's over analyzing stuff like that is what makes it kind of fun, because it's like, I don't know, you can get into collecting knives, even if it's something that you don't really use as much as it's worth, but it's such like an over-engineered object. I don't know, it just makes your life more productive and that kind of thing, and it's very well designed if it's done right and that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know, hope you like the video. See you.